Every soul is born luminous, divine, pure light, a tiny ambassador of the bridge. In their first cry, a mother remembers, if only for a moment. You then get labeled with a name and a gender, and a hat or a ribbon. And suddenly, you are Jennifer, or Kyle. And it begins. You are forced into a role many people become completely trapped into conditioned patterns of behavior that affect all aspects of your life, not just sexuality. Soon after, the magic word I is born in your mind, and you start attaching objects or people with the I, and the words my and mine are born. My mom. My dad. My sister. My brother. Probably the most popular with children, my toy. If the toy breaks or gets taken away, the child feels intense suffering. Not because the toy held real value, but because of the thought, that was mine. In the mind, the toy had become part of their growing identity, their developing sense of self. This was the exact moment humanity invented property law. Does not stop there. You are told who you are, adding additional layers to the identity of I, your false self. You are told that you are smart, dumb, pretty, strong, too loud, too tall, too short, needy, fat, skinny, black, white. Before we even know who we are, the world labels us by race, religion, gender, zodiac, politics. Layer by layer, we forget who we were before we were told who to be. She arrived wide-eyed, chasing stars from her crib to classrooms, from pink bows to polished heels. Each stage added a label: daughter, friend, student, woman, wife, mother. But the child within still longed to dance. He came with tiny fists and big dreams, ruling pillow kingdoms and testing limits. From scraped knees to suit jackets, the world called him a man. Yet a playful boy still lingered inside. As the child grows, the I multiplies its identities: race, religion, roles, trauma, opinions, and the ego eats it up like popcorn, adding layer after layer, with each layer thickening the veil, the bridge forgotten. We were made of light, born whole, radiant in our remembering our oneness. The bridge, the sacred connection between heaven and earth, between each soul and the source. Before the noise, before the masks, we walked in truth, subconsciously aware of our divine origin. But something stirred, a whisper, a shadow. The ego crept in, quiet, curious, seductive, and the illusion of separation took root. We began to forget, not all at once, but slowly, like a dream slipping through morning light. Where once we saw ourselves in each other, Now we saw me and them. We were once reflections of the same light, a place where true joy lives. Then the ego whispered, "You are separate." And with that whisper, the bridge trembled. Oneness fractured, and what remained was a quiet emptiness we could no longer name. We looked at each other and saw difference. We named it man, woman, dark skin, white skin, brown skin, beautiful, ugly, fat, chubby, slim, slender, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, etc. The ego was born to protect the I, but in doing so, it needed an other. To feel safe, it had to be right. To feel worthy, it had to be better. So it judged, criticized, found fault, not to harm, but to survive. And in protecting its story, it forgot the truth. There was never a separate enemy, only reflections. Only reflections of the same light we once shared. What we feared in the other was only a part of ourselves, misunderstood. And so began the ache, a hollow echo where wholeness once lived. In forgetting the bridge, we forgot ourselves, each soul wandering, searching, aching to be seen. We built walls to feel safe, masks to feel loved. We chased things to feel whole again, but the sadness was never about the world. It was the grief of being cut off from our own light and from each other. In the darkness, we began reaching outward, desperate to feel what we could no longer feel within, trying to fill the void with anything we could touch, hoping to find the happiness we forgot. So, what did we do? We went shopping! Clothes, shoes, makeup, bags and pocketbooks, video games, cars, houses. We lost ourselves in things in an effort to find ourselves. The ego tends to equate having with being. The more I have, the more I am. The ego's satisfaction is short-lived. It wants to want. It wants better, as its self-worth is tied to the worth we have in the eyes of others. And so we consume more, buy more, as we lose ourselves more. To satisfy the ego's craving for superiority, we began to compete over cars, dresses, homes, land, even who cooked better, and more absurdly, over who could win a man or a woman. Somewhere along the way, truth became less profitable than fear. The louder the outrage, the higher the ratings. And so, the screen didn't inform, it divided. In the glow of likes and filters, we forgot who we were. A heart icon became a mirror, and somewhere between scrolling and posting, we started performing instead of living. They said, "Be yourself," but then showed 1,000 versions of who you should be. The more perfect the post, the more empty the soul. And still, we kept watching. We stopped asking, "Who am I?" and started asking, "What do I own?" Identity became a transaction. And beneath the brands and boxes, the real self quietly disappeared. To keep up with the glow-up gurus, the lifestyle influencers, and the always smiling brand ambassadors telling us how to eat, dress, pose, and exist, we figured we just needed more money. Obviously, happiness came in a sponsored post, right? So we added more labels to our ego. Student, doctor, engineer, singer, overachiever, you name it. Always chasing, never arriving. Still trying to be someone, not realizing we already were. You win the race. You get the trophy, but the emptiness remains. Plot twist. You weren't supposed to be racing at all. We dove headfirst into the highlight reels of everyone else's egos, scrolling, swiping, double-tapping our way through curated joy. There they were, on yachts in Bali, glowing with filtered light. And here we were, on the couch, comparing. We mistook their edited happiness for enlightenment. Maybe they remembered the bridge. So we chased what they had, tried to become who they seemed. Our worth became a scoreboard. Comparison turned into competition. And just like that, the ego caught a new virus, envy. Envy whispered that what we had was never enough. So we wanted more. To have more, we worked more. Longer hours, fewer moments. Chasing a feeling we could never quite hold. And the more we chased, the more it slipped away, leaving us tired, hollow, and quietly miserable. Because the truth is, the hunger wasn't for things, it was for peace. And no paycheck can buy that. And while we filled our hands with more, we searched for what we lost in others. In our parents, we yearned for the approval we never gave ourselves. In our children, we poured dreams we were too afraid to chase. In our lovers, we begged to be completed, not realizing we were never broken. In friends, we craved reflection, forgetting our own face. In mentors, we hunted for answers we wouldn't listen to within. In strangers, we chased likes, comments, and glimpses of worth. We handed everyone a mirror, asking them to show us the light we buried. But no one can give you what only remembrance can restore. And so, disappointment turned to resentment, not knowing the person we were truly angry with was the one in the mirror. There's nothing wrong with having things, labels, possessions, even dreams of more. And there's nothing wrong with loving people deeply. After all, we chose each other before we came here. Some were meant to walk beside us, to help us remember the bridge and fulfill our missions. But the pain begins when we forget who we are without them. When the titles define us, when their love becomes our only light. It's not the having that hurts, it's the losing of ourselves within what we have. And that is where suffering quietly begins.
Then comes the ultimate illusion. Eventually, we stopped searching for the light in things. We began searching for it in people. Not just any people, the one. The one who'd finally complete the story, fix the cracks, make it all make sense. We called it love. But what if it wasn't remembrance? What if it was projection? A mirror of what we were missing inside. And so begins the greatest illusion of all. Not power, not status, but the belief that someone else will make us whole. Next time, we enter the illusion of love, where hearts perform and egos wear tuxedos.